Let me tell you what a pleasure it is to be back in my home state of Georgia. Governor Deal, you have absolutely one of the greatest patriotic states in the nation. And it just is manifested in the holy glow that we see around the state of their service and sacrifice of those from Georgia. Commissioner Wheeler, sir, thank you for all the many, many years of your service to the veterans of this great state. You are one of the great Americans. Thank you very much, sir. Again, sir, thank you for all the things you're doing to bring the awareness of the service and sacrifice of all Vietnam veterans to the hearts of the American people. To the Davis family, thank you for being here today. Sergeant Davis' picture was displayed. I remember, think about the great sacrifice your family has made. God bless you for being here. To all the veterans, and especially the Vietnam veterans, thank you very much for what you've done. You reigned today. You deserve today. And thank you all for being here. We salute the service and legacy of the Vietnam veterans. We fought a hard war. We also fought a war at home, which we didn't ask for. Today, many myths about Vietnam veterans are being dispelled. Less than 25% were draftees. World War II, that was 66%. 79% of us had a high school diploma. 6.8 million of the 10.3 million eligible Vietnam veterans went to college. The highest percentage in our history. 5 times above the civilian population. Contrary to the myths, very few had addictions, mental problems. We became successful as civilians in many other states in the military. We have proven to be resilient and successful. We served America with honor and dignity. And my fellow Vietnam veterans, we would do it again. We rightfully honor those Georgians who have served and died in every conflict from the Revolution to the War on Terror. Georgia lost 1,937 men during World War I, 1,079 during World War II, 841 killed in Korea, 1,584 lost in Vietnam. Georgia has lost 13 in Desert Storm. In the War on Terror, 141 have died in Iraq and 76 in Afghanistan. 27 Medal of Honor recipients have been accredited to Georgians. But today, we salute Georgians, recipients of the Medal of Honor from the Vietnam War. These men are just a few examples of Americans fighting together, who maintain and ensure we have our freedom. Freedom has always came at a very high price. We, the Vietnam generation, are unique. Perhaps even, I would still attack line and say the greatest generation. This is due to us being the only American veterans who fought a decade-long two-front war We overcame the enemy and the country we fought in. And we also overcame that stigma at home. We didn't have friends in the media. And I hold them accountable to that. I also hold Washington accountable for the great mistakes they made as it relates to this war in Vietnam. And why did I do that? I was almost, in 1975, on the last helicopter that came out of Vietnam. Jim Livingston, a young major, with one helicopter and 49 Marines, had to look in the eyes of thousands of mothers and kids, and the moms begging me to take their kids aboard that one helicopter. Of all the experiences I've had in Vietnam, the one that is imprinted and will always be imprinted on my memory is that mom handed me that young baby girl and said, "Would you take her?" And when one helicopter configured for 28 Marines and 49 Marines to get out of Vietnam in 1975, I had to look at her, that lady, and say no, even though she had worked in facilities in Macbeat Convent during that war. I had to say no, because the North Vietnamese were pretty close to pulling through the main gate. I hope America never has to do that again. We are better people than that. So I challenge all of you, as we wind down these other conflicts, let's ensure another Jim Livingston have to look another country's people in the eye and say, we're leaving without doing our job. We did our job, Vietnam veterans. We never lost a battle of any consequence. So today, all of you who served in Vietnam, I say to all of you, you did your duty. God bless you, and Semper Fi.
Pleasure to introduce to you the Honorable Nathan Deal, Governor of Georgia. Governor Deal served on active duty with the Army during the Vietnam War era. Following his remarks, Governor Deal will present this year's Vietnam Veterans Day in Georgia Proclamation to Commissioner Wheeler. Following that presentation, General Kicklighter has his presentation to make to the Atlanta Vietnam Veterans Business Association, at which point Mr. Kurt Mueller, the organization president, will make a few remarks. Please welcome the Honorable Nathan Deal.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks to all of you for being here. Thanks, Commissioner Wheeler, to you and your staff and all of those who had a hand in putting this program together. To those of you who are longtime friends of mine, who I know to be supporters of our military over many decades, thank you for being here. To the support organizations who not only support what we are doing here today, but support veterans and their families throughout the years, thank you. Especially to the families of those who lost loved ones or who had loved ones suffer injury during the Vietnam era. Thank you for being here today. Especially General Livingston, thank you for a very moving observation and commentary on what we're doing here today and this war that we are celebrating those who served and celebrating their valor. You know, President Lincoln, when he was asked to go to the Gettysburg battlefield and deliver what has become known as one of the most famous addresses ever given, one of the lines in that address was that the world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but they will never forget what they did here. Now, President Lincoln was badly mistaken about whether the world would remember what he said there, because it has become one of the most famous deliveries that has ever been given by anyone in the history of our country, celebrating sacrifices that military people have given on the field of battle. But the second part of what he said is why we are here today. But they will never forget what they did here. Nobody's going to remember what any of us said today, other than perhaps what General Livingston said. But we are here today to make sure that not only the 12 ones who have served and been awarded the highest medal of honor of our country, but all of their comrades who died, who were wounded, or who served, that what they did will not be forgotten. Thank all of you for being a part of this remembrance. It is important, as the General has pointed out, for us to be a people who does not take sacrifice lightly, who do not simply read numbers when we talk about those who died in combat, who do not simply acknowledge that we have heroes, but we don't remember who they are. It is important that we have a sense of conscience and a sense of long remembrance. So I thank you all for being here today to make sure that we do our part, to make sure that our children and our grandchildren and the generations who follow will know the great traditions of our military, the sacrifices that have been made, and as was said, to understand that it is not just a slogan, that freedom is indeed not free. Now, it is my honor at this time, on this, the anniversary day for the Medal of Honor ceremony, the National Medal of Honor ceremony, to today proclaim by this proclamation the Vietnam Veterans Day, and to deliver this proclamation in commemoration of that to Commissioner Wheeler on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia. Commissioner.